goes. We're playing some multiplayer. And today I'm playing as High Elves. Sorry, just some last minute stuff I needed to manage. There were some last minute thingamajigs, but we're going now. Hope you guys are doing good. Our first opponent is Scrambled Egg Special, by the way. That'll be quite exciting. And they don't have a faction, so... Alright. Should be fun. You basically look maxing as well for High Elves? Canonically, High Elves are not the prettiest faction. I think technically that goes to Slaanesh. If you count glamour as prettiness. Does anyone else have anyone else aesthetically pleasing? Obviously, many aesthetics can be pleasing, but yeah, I think Slaanesh is there. Wood Elves also use glamour though. Actually, it's not a lot of pretty factions. High Elves probably rank quite highly. Who would have guessed? Cleanest faction. I think High Elves are definitely amongst the cleanest. They might be the cleanest faction, actually. Looking at everybody else, they filthy, man. Planning on doing a Wood Elf day? Maybe. The Dowie. Dowie pretty hype. Antonio best at everything. But yeah, I'm gonna be trying a bunch of builds. We're gonna be doing a bunch of different things. See how that goes. We got a fairly decent number of signups. We're at 8 right now, so 4 more and then we're good. Hell yeah. I did accidentally not reset the tournament properly from last time, but we should be good to go now. People have found matches, wondrous. Zinch Day? I was thinking of a Zinch Day. Okay, so still waiting on Egg Special to give me the counter picks. But yeah, I think out of the lower tier factions, still gotta do Zinch. Honestly, there's not that many low tier factions that I'm missing though. Maybe I'll wait till the DLC for Cathay. I hope he plays Vampire Coast. Yeah, Ogre's hard maybe. Ogres are pretty fun to play around with. Pure Cav build. I've tried the Cav Max High Elves. I think you need a really big map to make that work. But it is indeed quite formidable. Technically, they have some of the best cavalry in the game, stat-wise, except for the armor piercing. So against low armor factions like Beastmen, these guys are amazing. They destroy Wood Elves. But everybody knows that. So when they can take armored cavalry, they do. And then your suffering is immense. Spears. You do see spears sometimes, but yeah, Ship's Company are better generally and way cheaper, aren't they? I guess they have less armor, they have less leadership. 5 leadership's pretty impactful. 20% cheaper though is a lot. Charge bonus should be half armor piercing to the weapon strength to be closer to tabletop. That would make it where basically everyone has insane amounts of armor piercing. I don't know how I feel about that. Be weird for non-armor piercing units to like hurt a rogue idol, for example. Greenskins, Lizardmen, and Chaos Dwarves. All of those sound pretty terrible. I'll go versus greenskins. Why not? Whoops, it daisies, wrong banner. But yeah, out of the bunch, I think I prefer greenskins. Gonna need to go for a bit of a different build than usual though. Greenskins, of course, very fighty. They have the Rugloods, which is a big ol' issue, ain't it? We're gonna have a Boy Cav, which is also really annoying. Honestly, Greenskin's gonna be pretty nasty, but I got some nifty strats. I think they are not unbeatable. Great thing about High Elves, you have access to like all the magic. Just every single magic you can imagine. But what is best for the green boys? This is okay. I know Burning Head is quite popular against greenskins. That one was not too bad. I could do some of these. Yeah, it is okay. I'm not like particularly impressed with this loadout right now, but I can make it work. I just need to not die to the Boar Boys spam. A million Boar Boys, I swear, they're just gonna tear me apart. Ooh, okay, nice. This looks kind of nifty. But yeah, greenskins, they're, you know, they're alright. At least they're not a super duper meta faction. We have that going for us. Warhammer 3 tournament that I'm participating in, like the next big tournament. I think the next big tournament is probably coming, probably whenever we get our next DLC. So 1 or 2 months? A little ways away, I imagine. Unfortunately. Okay, this seems good enough. What else do I have to worry about when I'm facing greenskins? What else is there to worry about? Honestly, quite a bit. Okay, this lines up pretty well. Let's see here. Greenskins, they have... this feels okay. I don't know, man. I don't play a lot of High Elves. I know, Silver Helms here are not bad. Do I want healing? Do I need healing? This is probably good enough. And if that's good enough, that means this is probably good enough. I could do this, actually. Ooh, alright, now we're cooking. Oh yeah, okay, this is actually, I could see this being relatively difficult for the greenskins to beat. Relatively difficult. $1 William. So what's a William dollar? You're gonna get the Acid Burpa. Acid Burpa would be interesting for High Elves. You can bring it if you're really worried about big monsters, though. Mayhaps. The big single entity cheese is quite popular. Greenskins struggle with Oceanids. As long as if their archers are dead, the Oceanids will cook. Oceanids are masters of melee, aren't they? Alright, here we go. Let's do it. Let's do. Are you doing a tryharding each faction thing? Yeah, more or less. That'll set me up for the next month worth of streams. But yeah, I think it could be fun. Now look at this build. So this is a kind of a weird build. It's very infantry heavy. I actually have more units than the greenskins. That's pretty uncommon. And the idea is very simple. I have a tremendously powerful front line. Look at these guys. Lots of dudes. We have a ton of archers. And as long as they stay safe, I think we're good to go. If we run into a lot of infantry, I can get a mage for more magic. We've gone very heavy on the magic. This is because greenskin range units are probably the scariest thing I could run into here. So having just a little bit to tear them up at the beginning when the fight begins is very nice. A couple of units of cavalry and then more infantry. This map is pretty good for high infantry dense builds. So that's exactly what we're going to be going for. And then you know what? I think I will just do this. Gonna get our second caster out. They're gonna be great. I'm gonna capture these points a little slower, but that's totally fine by me because we're going for that long con. Fermented fungi, tormented sword, spite of the bad moon. None of those are really good versus this composition. We got okay, just a melee attack booster, so I don't have to worry about my formation very much. All in all, this is pretty good. And we're just kind of sitting back and relaxing. I want to keep pace with the units they have. So they have very little to actually get into a backline, which is why we're getting these guys. They give a +5 melee defense plus leadership effect. They're basically like a Grail relic. And indeed, my opponent did go for the Stone Troll meta, which is very popular, but the trolls don't like getting shot at this much. This is a very, very shooty build. And while Stone Trolls are obviously very strong, they're much better against kite builds. And that is not what this is. So I'm feeling decently comfortable right now. I just have to hope that my front line actually holds. Rugloods will obviously melt their faces off. And it's all about just making sure that we can actually hold the front line. And that means a whack load of infantry. Unfortunately, I don't have more spears. These 2 silver are all I have, which will make life a little bit more difficult. And there's going to be a lot of goblins being summoned in, but if he doesn't have more trolls, that's pretty good for him. One great thing is oceanids. When we plan to melt the faces off of them trolls, or I mean the archers, the oceanids will do really well. Yet more gobos are all over. But can my opponent get this capture point? There's going to be a bit of a build-up phase, as both sides just get as many units onto the battlefield as they can. This is not a huge disadvantage for me. I have a lot of magic that I can dump out at the beginning. I'm gonna bring this lady up so that she can provide capture weight. And it's actually pretty important that I don't lose the capture weight when the fighting gets started. So I should actually scoot up just a smidge. Just a smidge though. I don't need to be that aggressive. We're just going to go like this. Make it a little awkward to wrap around. And then what I can do is I can start casting some foul magic. Have to just be very careful here that he doesn't surprise rush me. But if I can get like some good burning heads here, maybe we'll be good. I have a lot of extra magic just kind of hanging around. And will this be dodged? I don't know. It's 300 gold gobble. They were looking away. They get hit by a pretty nasty burning head. Getting a good amount of damage early on. Question is, will those be desummoned? I guess we'll see. Let's just get more oceanids and just keep hunkering down. Magic is good. Pretty good damage. Unlike my opponent, Well, my opponent can't really spend their magic as quickly as I can, not in a kiting measure anyways. So this should be fairly comfortable. Especially if I can get the Rugloods down. We're just gonna move up with the archers a bit, maybe poke around. Just gonna chuck that out while they're shooting. That's gonna hurt pretty bad. As it just, yep, follows the Rugloods. Ouch, bro. That's pretty painful. This little wee mage is farming the value. Already 600. Just pretty nice. Yeah, that really messed up the Rugloods bad, didn't it? Very good. So overall, not terrible. There's going to be a lot of boar boys on the flank. Oceanid should be fairly good at stopping them. Gonna maybe chuck out another spell. Right on top of them gobos. Like I said, I have like infinity magic right now. And this little early poking will just offer me a good amount of early game advantage. Just have to be a little careful about the boar boys. But now my opponent has to decide whether or not to de-summon. That'll be quite interesting. Question is, how many boar boys am I going to be dealing with? I imagine quite a few. We're almost at the point where we've summoned all of our units. But what we can do here is I can simply wait a little bit. Just wait. Because if I can hold this point long enough. Also, I can de-summon this lady, actually. That's pretty funny. And then bring her back for more magic. That's pretty jokes. Although I think I'll keep her here for capture weight because it looks like he wants to go in. We're going to get ready for the body blocks. Gonna body block the boar boys like so. We don't know if they actually want to go for a fight yet. But it looks like they do. Huh? Maybe not. Gonna chuck out a burning head, maybe slow him down a bit. The cavalry's getting beat up pretty bad. I don't know if that's working out for them very well. Yeah, and I can just simply intercept here. Ah, and they actually decide to retreat. That's pretty bad for the boar boys, ain't it? Let's see if I can hound these ones down. Definitely can bring in some rangers now. They're great versus gobos. And then I just gotta stagger the advance a bit. The Rugloods are super far backed up. That's good. We can focus fire the swamp things. We force them back off of this point. That's really good. And I think we're just going to yeah, just keep chucking out magic. Now obviously I'm just bullying goblins here. That is nothing too crazy. But as long as I can slow down the advance, I'm happy. Let's make sure the engagements are good. Okay, we have some reavers in here. Body blocking working pretty well. And without a goblin front line, it's gonna be pretty bad. It's gonna be pretty rough here for my opponent, I presume. It's not like their cavalry is able to get in here, which is very nice for me. Just need to avoid the boar boys. You can see how annoying this composition is, though. You're really just, yeah, just dealing with a wall of super tanky dudes. This is an anti-kite greenskin build. So it really does not do super well in these circumstances. As you can see, so far my front line's holding pretty well. Gonna need to get some more reavers here, but this pocket has fallen. Huge. And we can start jumping these guys. Let's take a look at the flank side. Flank is looking pretty solid. Just need to sub out a few forces is all. Maybe chuck out a flame storm on these poor gobos. and then just continue to stop the cavalry from being problematic. But I do have a double cap right now. That's glorious. Looking like my guys are doing great. Yo, it's always nice when you're known to be a kite player. When you're known for kiting, and then that one day when you don't kite, and then your opponent just gets completely screwed over. Feeling pretty good. This is an absolute massacre. Though, now that they're on my archers, maybe it gets a little sketchier. But in general, this feels very good for me. We've just completely held, man. Staunch line of spears. Who would have guessed it? Legend of Total War's viewers were correct. And the Oceanids are fairly easy to resummon too. That's kind of nifty. Just have to back up from here. Looking like the archers are doing well. And we didn't even lose the second point. I still have more magic too. Having that early game magic poke worked out very well for us. Very nice. And now we're gonna see a Desperation Lord snipe play. Totally fine by me. But I still have that double cap. Oceanids are almost here too. They're also bullying these cav units. Let's chuck out another one of these just to rout off a couple trolls. I said let's chuck out one of these to kill a couple trolls. Lady got knocked down. There's the Oceanid resummon. The counter to build up is having units you can bring back quickly. Now they did stop my Burning Head from being cast, but yeah, nah, man. Nah, this is just too strong. And just in time too, because I've used up all my magic. Now, how do I want to do this? I could desummon if I really wanted to, but I think it's fine. We got some savage boys. Totally fine by me. Dude, these archers have been alive for a very long time, by the way. That's probably the best part about this. All right, there we go. There's the Burning Head, and hopefully a rear charge will get them done. Couple braced units here against the charges should work out. The very elite cavalry here is dead. And everything worked exactly as planned. Look at that brace, man. When you brace for a charge, the damage mitigation is crazy. Also, you really didn't have a good use for his rampage this game. It's really nice. Bring the unexpected, and they will fall. Glorious, glorious. Gonna be a win for us. Yay. Dang, that was decisive. I had a feeling. I knew this build was the popular build. The trolls still did really well though, but just deleting the Rugleds with magic was kind of funny. And without infantry support, the trolls just kind of sucked. Cavalry, greenskin cavalry are actually really bad at getting into the backline. If you're just rushing, it's fine, but like just being solo in the far back line, they're so slow they end up getting outmaneuvered a lot. That's what we saw that game. Very nice. Yeah, Rugleds. He was just sitting out. So much magic. 1700 on this caster. Not an insane amount, but pretty good considering we were using spells just to essentially get some free poke damage. The actual HP damage she did too is really high. So that's good to see. And the archers, as expected, when they are very well defended, they do great. Now this kind of is a counter build. If greenskins know you're going to do something like this, obviously they can prepare a lot of counters. I don't think I had great solutions versus like a black orc spam. I guess I do have white lions, but it would be a little bit sketchy. Oh, I guess I have Oceanids though. Yeah, with the Oceanids, I'd probably be okay. I think I killed one of them with some magic, but it just gave me something to resummon, so it wasn't the end of the world actually. But yeah, this front line's just far and away way stronger than the greenskin front line. Goblin Troll is not a very strong front line, and we only learned that because we only learned that because I played the build. Anyways, I'm up against Potato Killer next, and the map is Imperial Road. Fun. Let's do it. The Wolf Rider backup. Yeah, they ran out of summons. I actually had better summons than my opponent. Oh yeah, you can't point vortexes anymore. That was only in Warhammer 2, sadly. They're playing Wood Elves. Nice. High Elves versus Wood Elves. This one's pretty fun. This one's pretty fun. This is, generally speaking, favored for the High Elf side. But Wood Elves have a lot of tricksy shenanigans. This is a matchup I've played a million times. Yeah, I'll just do this. I can do some of this. Actually, it's like super high elf favored. This is pretty insanely high elf favored. I definitely want one of these. I take some of that. Wood Elves tryharding soon. A lot of that's the second time I've seen Wood Elves. I think Wood Elves tryharding would be pretty fun. I'm like a little bit out of shape with them. I've been able to beat ogres with high elves, but recently, like Chosen and the like, they micro well enough where I can't just delete their lead belchers. So I don't know how many amazing matchups they have anymore. Quite the predicament. Let's see here. So this is looking pretty good. I think I'm missing just a smidge of something. Ah, yes. Definitely want to have a million of these. Definitely want to have a lot of these stuff too. But yeah, if I am facing the Wood Elves. Oh, perfect. Oh, how perfect. All right, we got the build. Ain't no way we lose this one. Okay, maybe I do, but this is a matchup I played so many times. Yeah, this should be pretty good. Let's see what Potato Killer has in store for me. No one expects the average high elf build. There's like very few high elf players that just take normal units. It's weird. It's a similar vibe to like Russian Corn with a bunch of strong melee units. There's definitely a lot of overshifting in the meta. A lot of like just popular builds. There's a lot of just popular builds and people just kind of start treating it like the norm. In this case though, I am just going a normal build. But there's a good reason for it. And that's because I'm pretty sure this build wins even against skew builds. Could be completely wrong. Maybe they have a full cavalry rush and I just die. But on this map, I think we're good. Mostly this map is so big that if I do get cav rushed, I have time to retreat. Looks like we have a Glade Lord. Gonna Arrows of Kronos my lady, but she's totally fine. So let's just hopefully reveal some Way Watchers. I have a Tempest Caster over here specifically for these flyers. So I'm not too worried at all. Gonna have a Dryad coming in. Fine by me. That ain't much of a problem. Hey, I thought she was invisible. You see me still? How'd she get shot, bro?
Keep it from the foe.
Yo, are you really just gonna...
As you say. For the king!
Where I predicted. I cannot fail.
Whoops. Took the shot a little too early. We kind of whiffed that one. Can I still nail him though? That's gonna hurt. Unfortunately, I eat a pretty big volley though. Oh my goodness. That was pretty messily played on my end. But we might still be able to get a big amount of damage in. That was a pretty big volley. Okay, I'll take that. Not too bad. I've definitely had better. But getting so much damage in on the Lord so early is always a plus. We've obviously wasted a good amount of ammo, but I think we're okay. I'll just have to desummon, resummon these guys, and I should be good to go. My opponent has microed quite well, though. For themselves. But I think we are A-okay. Pretty good dodge there. And if I'm lucky, I can catch out the cavalry here. So this is a range battle. But in a pure range battle, High Elves should be advantaged. I just need to kind of position myself here. Going to take a pot shot at these dudes. Yeah, these guys are still okay. I'm going to keep them around. Nice. Oh, interesting. Now, are these Swift Shiver shards? Okay, they are Swift Shiver shards. So their range is not that good. I should be able to outrange them. Gonna dodge that volley. This is a battle of dodging. So if you keep your SEs kind of parked in between and dodging, it actually makes it much harder for the enemy. Oh, another heal drops down. Whoop. Ooh, big dodge, big dodge. But yeah, I can burn their ammo while getting free shots on them. So that's basically the plan. Just gotta keep moving up with my boys. Just gotta keep bullying these dudes. Keep dodging. Get the point so that I have more time on my hands. Get another dodge in. So it's quite stressful though. So that's 16 winds of magic. That's a bit too much. But I still want to get the deeps on that Lord there. I don't really care about these spears. They really don't do that much damage. And now that we pushed back the archers, now my archers can cook. So my opponents played this very well. But I believe we are just going to... Oh, geez, my Lord. Okay, she's fine. But yeah, I believe we're just going to out-micro them a little bit in the late game. We'll see how it goes exactly. But so far, so good, I would say. It should be a pretty decent cav charge. Right down the pipe. That's another fairly big volley. And now I have my archers all online and operational. Let's be careful though. So I think I want to pull back for value's sake. Hopefully draw them in. Hopefully get some big volleys on these guys. I definitely want to kill this cav unit. So we're just going to net and blitz them. And then use my own cavalry to buy me some time. Hopefully my Lord doesn't get sniped. But by dancing with them constantly, we should be okay. This is a fairly good pushing back of all of the archers. And if they don't have cavalry to support, we're good. But my opponent has now chucked out a net. They're playing it well, but I think we still have a leg up. Value trading wise, it says we do. And that's basically all I need. As long as I can keep a couple of my archers alive, we're good. That net has worn off about now. Very nice. And if I'm lucky, maybe the Shem's Burning Gaze can get a big hit. A little bit of misposition. They lined up. Ooh, and that's going to do a lot of damage to those poor guys. Very nice. Very nice. Then we'll get a big volley to kill off the cavalry over there. And now I have a supreme archer advantage. Whoop, my lord, though. She is getting low. But that means she is more tempting. More tempting to snipe. And if I just keep dodging with her, then, yeah, I think my opponent's screwed. It'll be very hard to come back from that. Very nice. I can just push up here. Just keep her alive. Ooh, and there's a lot of micro. Ouch. Another big shot on her. So you can tell there's definitely some focus fire coming in. I'm gonna need to split my archers too. I'm blobbing a bit. But as long as I have this point, I'm fairly comfortable. We do have some cavalry in the cookie jar. Never mind, they got caught. Very unfortunate. I think I want to just keep my lord alive. Then we got to keep her alive. Got to finish off these dryads. And all this here infantry that's on top of me. Unfortunately, my cavalry kind of getting mucked up there. I think, yeah, my micro, it could be a little better. I may have been slightly overconfident. That dryad's going to be annoying too, but I still have a pretty hefty range advantage. You have a pretty good range advantage. And if I just keep using my archers here, I'll be okay. Lord's just gonna hide. She'll be okay. There we go. I still have the capture point. That's a very important thing. And you gotta remember, my cavalry is just superior. We just have better cavalry. And that's going to work out fairly well for us. Opponents microing their lord fairly heavily though. And I must say, they are actually playing this really well. I think they may have even played it better than me, generally speaking. But this is going to come down to superior high elf cavalry. At least I think so. At least that's what the plan is. This is still actually a little sus. Here comes a big push. A lot of dryads, I must say. We're kind of both in each other's lines. It's a little awkward. But if I keep spamming cav, I'll be okay, I think. Start getting some volleys over here. How's the lord doing? She's fine. Dryad shouldn't be too great here. I still have a whack load of archers alive and such. We're just gonna stealth this lady. I do still have capture weight. It's close though. It actually is quite close. I can use the shadow warriors in melee. Okay, let's get more of these guys. Let's chuck out the net and then let's just run. Let's just book it. And hopefully my cavalry can have a good time over here. A real scrappy fight we have. Yeah, but he's realized that he's overextended slightly. This high HP Wild Rider unit, I really want to kill. But actually pinning them down for the murderage, it's going to be a little difficult. I'm going to need to get that net on him. And there's some cavalry over here actually being a little problematic. I think I do want to de-summon these guys. We did get the net off. That's good. Very nice. Jeez, what a fight though. Thank goodness Shadow Warriors are so good in fight in melee though. They'll be able to do great. I think if I bring in one of these guys, fight off the Dryads, they'll be perfect. Cavalry's still in though. There's a good chance I still lose this actually. It really depends on how the Cav fight goes. That's pretty decent Cav charge over there though. Point is still mine. I will have my Lord over here, so we're not going to lose this point. So tickets should be fairly decent for me. Dang, that one Wild Rider though, actually kind of cooking. And with the Dragon Lord support, ooh, that's going to be pretty nasty actually. I think I may have flubbed it. We're running out of ammunition. Look at this guy. Wood Elf versus High Elf Master. They did very well. I did not do a good job up trading into the big Dryad push. And I think that's what is going to do me in. Do I win on a 1 cap? 400 points. Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough. Whoa, man, what a fight. But yeah, they done did it. Some very good dodges with the Lord at the beginning too. Usually, you know, with a couple Tempests, you'd be able to kill him. But yeah, Lore of Life value for sure. Giving him the big value. Can I... Oh, there's a big net. Yo, honestly, this Lord living was huge. I spent a lot of resources focusing. GG, well played. GG, well played. Dang. Clearly, I'm a bit rusty, but I think they played it very well. Even with the Tempest Caster in reserve. Very nice. Let's see here, yeah. I took a lot of damage from those guys. I think my skirmishers were doing well, but their big wave of Dryads is what ended up mucking up my range lines. And that's when things got a little bit sketchy. Next up, we're going to be up against B6. Gonna have to get rid of them. Whoop. B6. Yo. Redemption arc time. Dang, I haven't lost that matchup in a while. I guess Dragon Lord being so tanky really works for them. Very good match, though. It's been a menace on ladder for the last couple years, huh? I haven't matched into them very often. I think that was like... No, I think that was like the first time I matched into them. They messaged me before, but I don't think they play in a lot of my tournaments. Very fun. I think if I'm fully locked in, though, I can beat them at that level. But... I'd have to be pretty locked in. I'd have to play like really well, maybe slight build optimizations. I look forward to our next match for sure. Whoops, hit the mic. Pointy-eared arrogance. I know. Lately, the matchup has felt Wood Elf favored, at least for you. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure if I just had more archers, I'd be fine. I don't think the Swift Shiver shards outrange anything. But maybe there's some mix-ups that'll win it for him. Dragon Lord, though, as just an ultra tanky flyer, definitely helps. I wonder if I should just stick with the Tempest Lady and skip the net. I did waste a lot of magic trying to snipe that Lord. Very silly maneuver on my end. But Skaven. Skaven are a fun one. I think I know what I want to do. I believe I know what must be done. Skaven are interesting. They really only have one build. So, as long as I can shut that down, I think we'll be just fine. And this looks pretty good. Get rid of this. Add in, how is this unit? You know what? Sure, why not? Yeah, and I think I got the juice for Skaven. They truly are not the end of the world. I gotta be careful though. You gotta be careful with the high elf arrogance. We're playing them too hard. But this should be pretty comfy. Let's see. Do I want these guys? Nah. I need like a good late game unit, guys. What's a solid late game high elf unit versus Skaven? What do they usually have in the late game? Spamming like rat ogres, doom flayers, a lot of infantry maybe. Honestly, this is probably good enough. All right, let's do it. And let's pick a fun banner. I know people get annoyed when I don't pick fun banners. Yo, I really want to do a kite v kite rematch against that guy. Another potato, by the way. Potato killer. Yeah, potato killer, potatoes devil. The Merworm. Dude, the Merworm's so bad. I thought it would be another Shredder of Lustria, but it is not. But yeah, if you want to beat that Wood Elf build, I think you have to be careful about the Lord. So you can't be yeah, you can't waste too many volleys on him. I lost a whole Shadow Warrior trying to focus fire that Lord down. Had I been able to get the kill though, it would have been sick. But yeah, just mostly focus on the ranged v ranged fight. Spam more archers. You're probably fine. If I just got all my archers from the get-go, there's no way they would have rushed me. Then just play super safe. So we are down a game, which means I need to get some wins and quickly. And what better way to do that than to hyper cheese once again. That's right. That's right. It's Cav Max. Skaven just really suck versus Cav Max. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a million rat ogres this time to defend it. We have Altharian. Ready, good luck, have fun. This might get a little weird though, because if my rush is not a devastating, crushing victory, then suddenly we're gonna have a long, drawn-out game where we're fighting for the points. But that's still advantage for me. Cav spam is pretty good. So many potatoes, I know. Sometimes Lothar Seaguard. I think no matter which range units are brought in the High Elf versus Wood Elf matchup, it's going to come down mostly to the skill of the players. And who can get the bigger edge. Okay, so we got some Jezzails. So this is a very defensive start for the Skaven. What I can do, I can line of sight those Jezzails. Interesting, we got some Globadiers. We have a lot of Globadiers. Okay. So this is quite weapon team heavy. I think what we want is some of this. We don't have a lot of air nets, I'm noticing. That'll be pretty good for me. Yeah, I just have to be a little careful around the Globadiers is all. Or we just don't engage. We just back it up. Who needs to fight? One piece is an option. So what are you gonna do? I want him to push up onto this point so that we can actually get in. I also do not want them to get too many summons in. I have to be careful because I'm taking a lot of damage. Oh wait, it's triple Jezzail, bro. Wait, this is triple Jezzail. I should totally just go in. Altharian's getting hit a little bit though. He has to be a little wary. But yeah, this is just straight up a triple Jezzail build. No real point waiting. We just kind of need to get in there. Where's the caster though? Surely there's some foul magic. It's an assassin. Okay. Sure. Well, the middle pocket has been left open. They're gonna hit up one unit of cavalry over there, but Altharian is in. And we're gonna see what we can get done now that we are in the cookie jar. I certainly have a lot of cavalry, and Altharian's Chad But if I don't play this out just right, this can go quite badly for me. It's all about getting onto the weapon teams. And hopefully stalling this point from being captured. Soon as the weapon teams are down, though, life's going to be pretty rough. There goes one of them. Very nice. Eltharion can go ahead and heal up. And they're going to get 1 point, but that's not too bad. Generally speaking, I just have to not lose all my cavalry doing this. There's certainly a lot that they can get done on me if I'm not careful. I do barely hold on to this point, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, we've already broken their formation, which is the most important thing. Those Jezzails and such are going to be running for the next little while. A couple dogs get summoned in. That's not too bad, though. Eltharion can obviously outduel a couple of Rad Ogres. For sure. We have Oceanids here, and I think this is just the beginning of the end of the Skaven. Even though the trading is about even, Skaven just hate it when their formation is broken. There's very little that can be done at that point. That barrage is going to be nasty. And if I just keep spamming Cav and shutting down everything, I think we're fine. It's a big overcast from that little dude here, but he actually accidentally hits some larger targets. Very unfortunate for him, but that's what happens. Jezzail's a dead. Globadier is doing the best. But the center is still holding very strong, and I don't think I'm gonna lose the center anytime soon. Though I am losing a lot of cavalry. I have to be very careful that I don't just run out of stuff. But the weapon teams are dead. That's a nasty charge. That's actually a huge charge. Potentially a chain route situation if we're lucky. Eltharion has killed off the Rat Ogres. Route Ogres, as they are often called. Eltharion. Yeah, he's definitely going to need to pump some heals on his face, but he will live, thankfully. And dang, there's an assassin here too. Okay. So my dear opponent certainly has a lot of stuff, but will it be enough? Wolf Rats are not the greatest. They do route very easily. Oceanids are still grinding, and there's almost nothing that can kill them since the formation is so tattered. There goes Eltharion. Doing great. Let's just pop another heal. He's going to use the trees to maybe dodge a shot. No, he gets hit, but he's totally fine. And the triple cap is still going. We do win on a 2 cap now. So if I wanted to, I could give up a point. I don't think I want to just yet, though. Because giving my opponent more time could lead to issues. There's a lot of spears over here that I gotta worry about. But there's still triple capped. And quite aggressively so, too. Rat Ogres hopefully will get friendly fired. Let's get more cavalry. And now what are you gonna do, Skaven? What are you gonna do now? I'm about to snipe your lord, as he is quite exposed. Some Jezzails do rally, but I don't think that's very many of them. And there's going to be a mad dash trying to get the points, but having your formation even more spread out as Skaven is definitely not where you want to be. The question is, will Eltharion be able to get the job done? Well, he's certainly doing a lot of damage from the get-go. Oh, and another hit. Another giant hit on the Lord. There he goes, terror routing. And I think that's going to be it. Skaven formation is in complete tatters right now. I don't know if they're even going to get a single ticket this game. It's kind of funny because this game is not that one-sided. But they may very well get absolutely no tickets. That Lord is dead, though, and with the Lord, there's not much hope left for the Skaven. Ocean is working out very well here, by the way. And this just goes to show, Skaven suck. Skaven are really bad. And there goes the Lord. Huzzah. Glorious. Oh my goodness, dude. The reason I say they suck is because he had the build for this and the formation. It's literally B6 is just being held back by the faction. You know, if I did the same thing versus like Empire, let's say, it would not be great for me.
I knew it. Unending
But there you go.
glory is yours.
That's how it be. GG. And a win for us. Very nice. Pretty fun. Yeah, Cavalry did great. His weapon teams did hold for a long time. I didn't realize he had 6 weapon teams. That's why, yeah, Giselles did not do super well. Globadiers did quite well, though. You need armor piercing to get them sometimes. This is a quite good anti-kite build, though. So, effectively, what they did was they skewed super hard to beat kite. And they were hoping their spears would beat cavalry, but they do not. I did wait too long. The rat ogres were summoned in. If I attacked at the very beginning, there would be no rat ogres and I'd just run this over. But a lot of units were in the trees. This game is so DLC heavy. Have you seen my most recent video? I won a tournament with no DLCs. Just the base games, 1, 2, and 3. It's not bad. You don't need DLCs to do well. I did see one comment that was like, yeah, you have to be you know, a really good tournament player to actually win tournaments, though, with no DLCs. Which is basically just saying it's a skill issue, which is the whole point of the video. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, like it's gonna be a little harder, but like it's still a skill-based game. That's the whole point. Obviously DLCs help some niches and not all factions will be good, but you can get it done. Oh, see, now you're saying it, Cesaro. No! No! Good multiplayer games are more balanced. What does that have to do about anything? Rock, paper, scissors is the most balanced game in the world. But yeah, I can win a DLC free tourney as Wood Elves. But yeah, you know, if you want a skill-based game, this has it. If you want a perfectly balanced game, this is not it. If you want a game where the developers are pushing out updates, you gotta be looking at like a 4 to 6 month update schedule. Any news on the Tigerman patch? I don't think CA's put anything out. Not yet. Not yet. But yeah, the whole point is you don't need DLCs to win. You need to be good. That's the whole point. Just be good, bro. This is why you see Zarex winning with like super non-meta factions, right? New info on Thursday? Honestly, I don't keep up with news that much anymore. I'm too busy doing everything else. Do you count Bretonia as DLC? As they were FLC content? No, it's more like what can you do with the base games 1, 2, and 3, and paying no more than that. Because I think the big catching point is the money. But yeah, Bretonia is free. They're free, which is the main thing. If you want to beat the game with just 4 factions, well, you could probably still do it. Like, if you just have Warhammer 3 and you play multiplayer, it's actually probably not impossible to win a tournament. I think you'll have a very hard time winning the biggest of tournaments, you know, like the big prize pool tournaments. But, like, if you want to be a top player, you can totally just crush face with the bare minimum, man. It is, it's not that difficult. I also didn't use Bretonia in the video because Bretonia, you can spend $0 and you come you get all of Bretonia. And Bretonia is actually one of the top factions. At least good enough where they can win against most every faction. They just have a few bad matchups. And those matchups are pretty bad, but if you can ban them. Bretonia is pretty solid, man. And you get basically everything. I think you miss out on like a couple... Now, Rapunzel is also free, right? Is there any paid Bretonia content in the game? Beat a Chaos Dwarf campaign without DLC. Yeah, there's also Slanesh. Slanesh is bonkers without DLC. Though they do benefit from DLC quite a bit, but they're still very strong. This doesn't mean the game is perfect, of course. I'm not here to shill for CA. But I think community perception about the game balance is like way overblown. Like so often, especially in a fairly small tournament scene, it's just the better player, man. And it's always been that way since the times of Falcon all the way up till today. If you are just a better, more consistent player, you know, most people just play tournaments casually. They're not going to be ultra sweat gods that learn, you know, the 1,000+ matchups in the game. Is it 1,000+ or is it a few hundred? Not too sure. But yeah, you'll be fine. Beastmen? I would like to play Beastmen at some point. I haven't played them in a while. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Reveal show day after tomorrow. Yo, what if CA like just like reveal all the cool stuff and just drop it the next day after? Wouldn't that be amazing? Considering there's 24 factions, the majority are quite well balanced. I think considering how many factions there are, the game is surprisingly well balanced. But a lot of it is done by the community through pick and ban systems. If you just took 2 random matchups, it's actually quite likely that it would be a terrible matchup. Like if you just went like, I don't know, dwarves and skaven, that's one of the worst matchups in the game. You went like dark elves and Kislev, a little bit closer. I think that's a little bit better. But I think like, you know, it only works because of picks and bans and people hovering around some of the more consistent factions. 3x3 Matrix is certainly pretty good. Oh, we're up against Potato Killer again. Hey. Oh, accidentally closed the lobby. Up again. Revenge! Revenge! Sorry, that might have been loud. Chateau! Alright. This should be fun. This should be a good one. I will be able to test out all the strats. Bretonia cavalry into Chaos Dwarves land battle. Well, land battle has in some ways more skew, in other ways less skew. Obviously, there's some terrible matchups in this game. 276. Dang, 1,000 was way overshooting, wasn't it? Alright, so how do I want to do this? I must be a little careful that I don't get screwed by that flying lord again. In my head, flying lords are always very bad here, but my opponent showed that they can make it work. You must be a little bit careful. It's gonna be a lot of... Well, I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna bring the same build or if they enjoy their mix-ups. I have not played against this person much at all. Today's the first day. So I'm really interested to see what they decide to go for, because the possibilities are truly endless. Let's see here. So playing versus the Woodies. What do they plan to do? Swift Shiver Shards again? You're gonna use Acelin? Nah. Acelin's too expensive, man. Paper Hammer again. Less so Paper Hammer, because he does do the job when you bring him. He's more just like a really expensive hammer. He's like a $100 hammer. And it's not like a titanium, you know, mega hammer. A titanium might be a bad hammer, but it's not like he's insanely strong. He's just a normal hammer for like $200. I will say I am not a fan. Okay, pretty fun build I got going. Let us see. Let us face in the field of battle yet again, Potato Killer. In Team RTK. Alright, so this time I'm locking in, people. I'm locking in. No excuses. Let's do it. Worst matchup might be Dwarves into Skaven. There's actually a non-zero chance Dwarves can do well with the Gyrocopter max. Dwarves, they don't have that many impossible matchups because they can always skew one way or another. Gyro max, Mantide, Slayer max, ranged maxing, all of those require different counters. Now, most builds can counter at least 3 of those 4 builds, so it's not going to be good for Dwarves a lot of the time, but they can always high roll that 25%. What you really need is a matchup like Nurgle versus Slanesh. Now, that one, even a fairly weak Slanesh player can do really well. Nurgle does not have a lot of options there. But I think there's worse. I'm pretty sure there's much worse. No war wagons. At some point I'll get an Empire Day in. Is there a worse matchup than Nurgle Slanesh? There has to be. There's some that are just atrocious. The thing is, Nurgle versus Slanesh, you don't even really need to know the matchup really well. I think if you just grabbed a random, like a top tier Nurgle player and your fairly average Slanesh player that doesn't know the matchup, I think the Slanesh player would still do pretty well. The only thing they have to do is not YOLO into Kugath. That's like the only thing they have to not do. Let me see if I can think of something else. It used to be like 1 to 2 years ago that most greenskin builds you saw had Spider Rider archers, but nowadays you see almost none. You know what happened? Yeah, mostly just well, greenskins are less meta, they're not being bought as often, but also in lane battle, skirmishers are much better. Now I don't know if you were catching like early domination days, because that's 2 years ago, so this would have been during the domination days. Domination would be out, but it would have been fairly early meta. I think Spider Rider archers just don't have a lot of space to kite though, and they do get countered a lot. People just aren't playing as many greenskins, and the factions they're facing demand a little bit more armor piercing. 10 squats, Naldor, how dare you? All right, might as well. Oh, and they're ready. Gotta go fast. Whoop. Whoop. Quickly. Oh. Alright. And we're done. Let's do this. Squats with dissing Nurgle. I deserve it. Alright, can I win this matchup? So they just beat me a second ago. But vengeance shall be mine. I've decided to go for a very similar build to last time. Just maybe a bit more cav heavy. We got this lady. So I'm gonna focus on tempesting the Lord, and if she gets poked, I have apotheosis. That's it. That's it. I have a bunch of skirmishers. She can stealth to maybe catch the Lord. But this time around, I'm not gonna waste so many volleys shooting the Lord up. I'm mostly just gonna be shooting infantry with these guys. And that should give me enough of an advantage. Nurgle's best unit, definitely. Forsaken and Pestigors are really good in domination. So there's a bit of glitchiness here sometimes. Let me know if that's distracting, guys. Well, we got a branch wraith again. As long as I'm not getting cav rushed, I'm fine. It would be pretty funny though to just see like a million cav. Okay. She's fine. Just gonna take a pot shot. You're gonna see a dodge. Partial dodge. But not bad for me. She can heal up, so that's not a big deal. I think it's a very similar build to last time, so I am going to just spam archers this time. We're just gonna spam some archers. So those are glade riders. I need to find where the skirmishers are. They're all the way over there. Fine by me. They didn't capture the point. It's interesting. I think it's because they want me to go in and capture the point. Alright, fun. Can I catch the Deepwood Scouts though? So definitely I can go here. Then I can get a volley off there. Then a volley off once they start retreating. So that they're gonna get hit by something. Pretty painful indeed. And that's going to give me a slight advantage. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit of a buff. Interesting. There's a Way Watchers over there. So she's gonna be taking some big fat deeps. But I'm gonna get a lot of volleys back. And now she can dodge. So I don't know if that was super worth. Yeah, okay, so he's going super hard on the Lord Snipe today. Alright. I see how it is. Well, if she just keeps healing up, I think she'll be fine. Just keep getting getting the archers up. You can see it's a pretty big retreat on this end. That's good for me. And she's just gonna live. Focus on the living. Just have to play a little safe with the archers. Make sure they don't get blasted. It's a big volley, but we can dodge that. Very nice. Should be able to go over here. Alright, but where are your skirms at? There they are. So we got some Deepwood Scouts. Return fire! That's gonna be quite painful. Yep, that was a huge volley. And because I'm controlling so much space here, I should be able to punish these spears. Just by getting a big old sandwich on their faces. Should see a return fire maybe? No, no return fire. Oh, there we are. Should be pretty good. I certainly have a lot of range, that's for sure. We're just gonna back up. And here comes the big push. So if I can just make it where these guys don't get too much work done on me, I'll be okay. I should have a very big range advantage. Just a few units of cavalry here, just a few glade riders. The sniping is not going to kill this lady. And there go the dryads. Nice. So they're all dead. And I'm just going to save up for reavers on that front. Shock damage, very good for getting units to rout.
Moving out. Onward.
I might be able to get a nasty volley on the Way Watchers too. Nice.
For duty.
And so far so good.
Archmage.
Yeah, that's a big volley on the Way Watchers. All right, nice.
Shadow warriors.
Let's get these guys in guard mode.
Illyrian reavers.
Get some more cavalry going. Very nice. And just keep up the retreat. I have to be careful. I still have to uptrade here. But I might have a little pocket where some cavalry can get in.
We go. Seal. We advance.
Nah. He's gonna be ready for it.
To the fray.
If I can just kill off all the infantry though, I'm good. Let's keep getting cavalry.
My journey continues.
Oh, I actually miss-summoned a few units. As you can see, I'm going to get rushed by the cavalry now.
Magic.
A little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Okay, nobody backs up. Actually, quite lucky for me then.
For duty.
I thought we were almost screwed.
Move. March. Without fail.
This is a triple cap situation though,
For the king.
but not a terrible one. I still have a lot of time. And value trading is real good for us. There you go, it's a routed dryad, nice. I should be able to finally get some cavalry in here.
Acknowledged. Advance. For the ever
Let's
queen.
kill off those dudes. A little bit of friendly fire, but still worth the murderage. And now this should be pretty bad. So now they're losing all their ranged. Very nice. I think we're fine. I think we're good.
Magic is mine.
I don't even have to worry about my lord much anymore. She's fine. And not in any threat of being murdered.
Carried by the
There go the spears. And now it's just a slow push forwards. With just a giant freaking range advantage.
Ancestors.
Very nice.
For order.
Do have to be a little careful still.
Syrian guides us. Asa.
I have to make sure I don't lose all my cavalry and the like. But this is still good.
Shadow warrior.
Just have to capture the point is all. Just keep running.
Asa. Attack. Death to all. Orders received.
It is a little sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. That's a lot of cavalry that just got summoned in. That is rather a lot of cav. It's all fairly cheap cavalry though.
Understood. Forward.
I just have to make sure my little pocket here don't die. My boys are holding well though. Very nice.
Fail.
Couple spears are not a big issue. Those ones should rout very soon.
Done.
Okay, yeah.
Forward.
Cavalry corps is holding, thank goodness. I just need to capture this point before I get screwed. But I think if I do that, we're good. I have such an insane range advantage right now. It'll be very hard to come back. I did lose my lord though. That's a little dumb on my end, but it's okay.
Surian.
I will have this point, and I will have a second point. I have a stupendous amount of archers,
To the fray. It's
and if I'm lucky, she comes back.
loyal.
But we're not entirely sure about that just yet.
King.
Oh no, they might have misplayed it.
Without question. Yes.
That would be great.
Without fail.
Point is mine. She rallies. She was stealthed. Too invisible. Very nice.
Shadow warrior.
Okay, yeah, we got him. Boys, we got him. It took a little bit, and it was quite the sketchy battle all around.
Serve the king.
But we got him. Jeez, all right.
Oriole. Asa.
Yeah, as long as I'm careful with my trades and I don't make any major misplays, we're good.
Silver helm.
This is indeed still very good for the High Elves. Still a very pitched battle on both sides.
Will be done.
But we just had that slightly better range advantage from being High Elves.
Now.
And that makes the big difference. Big routes all around. They're stuck summoning in
Swiftly.
just a bunch of infantry, which is not going to help them very much.
Shadow warrior.
And if I can get them to overextend, that'd be perfect. There's a lot of dryads being summoned in, I'm noticing. And they're good, don't get me wrong.
For
but they are far from perfect here. And that's because once the numbers get a little too big...
Will be done.
Ooh, good net. Once the numbers get a little too big, the Dryads can't do that much. Let's just make sure you don't die, though. That would be so bad if I had her die. Ah, here we go. This is why we leave the reserve Reavers. Deal with stuff like this. That should be enough to just delete these poor Wild Riders. There's one big final push for my boys over here, but it shall not be enough.
Destiny sends me.
I should have too much cavalry and too much countercharging. Though I must say, those Wild Riders are holding up fairly well. These guys, though, much less so. And as soon as I get my little bit of cavalry here, I should be okay. And they definitely do not have enough cavalry to assault my infantry and also defend their units at the same time. And that's gonna be GG. Oh. Alright. That was pretty stressful. But I was a little bit more locked in there. Just did not make so many misplays. Jeez, though. Way Watchers did really well. So these were just normal Deepwood Scouts this time. A true kite v kite situation. Opting for a lot of infantry to defend from a cav rush makes a lot of sense. Not a lot of cavalry, and no Glade Guard summons is a little surprising. By summoning in so many Dryads and overextending with them, that's what lost them the game. Very pitched, though. Very pitched battle. Oh, man. But yeah, we're just going to be, we're just gonna be getting out slight edges the whole time. That's just kind of how High Elves are. Against Wood Elves. You just have better cavalry. Alright, so on to Corrupted Moor. Let's take a look at the signups. So, not enough signups for a top 4, but that is okay. Oof. Best 2 out of 3. I'm ready for it. They're a really good player. You can kind of tell just by how they maneuver and position. Almost Swing My Lord is definitely a classic. But yeah, just how they position. But it really shows that when they were trying to snipe my Lord, they lost a lot of resources that could have been used to kill these guys. What's better, Toad Dragons or Jabber Slights? Toad Dragons? For being an anti-large, an anti-infantry monster. Yeah, Toad Dragon. It's just better. Jabber Slight is more of a disruption tool, but Manticores already do that. Alright, now what are they gonna play? A Kislev, maybe? Hyles versus Kislev could be pretty interesting. I lack the armor piercing to do well. Skaven, Dowie, and Coast. I'll play versus Vampire Coast. Are you kidding me? This is great though, because when you play a favored matchup, what's being tested is how good you are against skew builds. That is effectively what you're dealing with. Skew builds are good. Skew builds are very good. You have to be a little careful. So, Vampire Coast, they have a trifecta. They have zombie spam, crab spam, and mortar spam versus most range factions. There's ghost spam, but that would be pretty terrible here. I would be very surprised to see a Vampire Coast ghosty spam. But yeah, and Depth Guard aren't really too popular either. They do see some play, but they're not the biggest, baddest units here. Yeah, picking coast against an archer faction. Now, zombie spam loses to archers. Crab spam can beat archers, and mortar spam can beat archers. Mortar spam probably being the most popular, most common, and also easiest to pilot build. Because you just take a bunch of mortars and just watch as the archers get obliterated. Now, we are far from being without options, though. Elves, they definitely have some pretty sick plays that can be made. I almost wonder if this is sick. This could actually be really good. What does this do? Yeah. Sure. Okay, this is kind of weird, but this could be really hype. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like where this is going. Sure. So I'll do something like this, and then obviously never leave home without a bunch of archers. But then how do you kill mortars? Imagine I just get Siren rushed. That would be insane. I really don't think a Siren rush would be that good. They're worse than Karen rates, actually. And Karen rates are only barely meta. But you gotta be ready for the unexpected. I think more than likely, though, like 80% of the time, it's either crab spam or mortar spam. I think those are by far the most likely options you'll be dealing with here. Any mass silver helm builds today? Yes, we did it versus B6's Skaven. It was very fun. Let's see here. Vampire Coast. Yeah, it should be okay versus Depth Guard. I should be pretty good versus mortars, pretty good versus crabs. I'm gonna want a little bit of mobility, though. Does anyone know if Ocean is a good versus Coast? I'm pretty sure they just die to pistol mobs. And I don't know how well they do versus the halberds either. So, maybe not. Do I get the Sisters of Avalorn emergency crab killing? Probably not. You do have to be very careful about the doggos. So you always have to have 4 Reavers. Let's see here. How do we want to do this? High Elf Cavalry is like, you know, they're really good for killing Moringulls. Bloated corpses? You hate bloated corpses? What? That's like the most fan favorite unit in the universe. How can you hate the guys? Who are you? How dare you? Seriously though, bloats? Of all the units to pick, I can't believe it. Alright, yeah, this is good enough build. I think this is just generally hard for Coast to deal with. You dare use the ocean against the ocean? Yeah. I think Oceanids are like one of the best melee trading units in the entire game. But they might actually still lose to deckhands. Deckhands are stupidly overtuned right now. At 250 gold, people just don't realize it, but if you turned off unit caps, Vampire Coast would literally only take a 40 stack of deckhands, and that's it. You could totally win. with just a 40 stack of deckhands. It's 250 gold, cheaper than a clan rat. And it only takes 2 of them to basically destroy a unit of Forsaken. A normal archer costs 500 gold, and they'll run out of ammo by the time they kill 2 deckhands. Like, it's actually just impossible to it's impossible to kill that unit. The only way you can like really wreck them is if you have grenade launchers or something else with just ludicrous DPS. Pentabloat. Bestest build. Ain't no way 2 deckhands beat a Forsaken. I'm pretty sure. I heard from someone. Forsaken will totally get tired by the time they kill the first deckhand, and then the second one can finish the job. I think the Forsaken win, but they'll be so beat up they are not ready to really do much else. And definitely 3 deckhands destroy a Forsaken. And if it's a 2v1 at the same time, where they can get a surround on the Forsaken, definitely. Seriously, deckhands are so strong. Can I win a tournament with just deckhands? That would be fun, going up against the top players, playing as deckhand coast. Be a nice like boss battle challenge. Best of 7 deckhands only. Both sides. Deckhand v deckhand. What would be the strategy? I guess you should still try to uptrade. But is flanking good? Because a flanking unit will get flanked immediately. What's the strat? When it comes down to mirror matches, the only thing that matters is how well you know how to play the game mode, how to play points and such. That's a lot of theory crafting. You obviously, if you get the point, if you get a capture point, I think if both sides were mirrored and it's melee only, what you're probably gonna do is hard focus on just securing the points. Securing the middle point. And then after you've secured it, you just have to trade evenly for the rest of the game. And then you win. I guess that's it. By the way, this is a weird build, but I got this dude. He summons Oceanids. This lady's the Burning Headcaster. This one's the Plague of Rustcaster. Other than that, I have an absolutely stupendous amount of archers. Ready, good luck, have fun? I have a crazy amount of archers here. With Vampire Coast, they have to summon the units other than deckhands, and the archers will severely uptrade into them. They fairly evenly trade into even deckhands. So as long as they live, I'm good. And if you don't let them get chased down, you let them rally and use the rest of their ammunition, it's gonna be pretty hard for Coast. We're gonna use all of our abilities. It'll be great. Yeah, Archer maxing Coast. Now, there's a few builds that can be a little scarier against this. Maybe some rushes, maybe the mortar maxing. But my goal today is to just dodge the mortars. Indeed, it is a lot of mortars. There is a Tryharding though. It's gonna make it hard for this guy to get in, but I have 2 threats against the mortars. We have a Burning Headcaster. And we also have the Oceanid Caster. And as long as I dodge, the mortars won't be able to do much. It's once the fighting gets started that it's a little scarier, but obviously this is not going to be a very strong rush. And let's see if they realize the threat of this guy. Tryharding is going to be, yeah, he's going to be beelining it. towards him. He doesn't want me to summon Oceanids on his guys. Makes a lot of sense. But that may very well let me get some sick burning head plays. So what if?
We have a victory point.
What if I just scoot in? What if I distract them a little bit? What if they're not looking? Oh no! Oh, look at this guy. Wait, those are carronades. Kind of crazy. Hopefully they're not looking. This is pretty hard to dodge. Ooh, big hit. That's a pretty nasty one. Oh, that's another pretty big hit. Jeez Louise. And the carronades too. They're not even mortars. One of them was a mortar. They're dead though. Yeah, that's what you do. The mega jabate. The mega jabate. Didn't see it coming. Honestly, it's pretty hard to see coming. But yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Because now what are you gonna do? You don't have a mortar anymore. Dude, that's actually so bad for my opponent. That is actually devastating. I don't know what he's supposed to do. Now he has a lot of guns. Guns are not good for this situation though. Yeah, this is just... Oh no. Oh no, look at these poor guys. They're getting mulched. They're getting mega mulched. If dogs come in, I'll be fine. Let's get some more magic. The carronade I actually don't have to worry about very much. He summons bomber bats. Okay. Foul bat's gonna be trying to get in. I have more magic though. You can see he's trying to push up. He's using the long formation. The long formation is not that good, by the way, in all situations. Because yeah, there's sick burning head plays. They also can't maneuver very well. It's just pain and suffering. This guy's never gonna want to play Vampire Coast into High Elves ever again. This is just so bad. This is so bad for him. I'm gonna have Oceanids on his guys in a second. Look at this. There they go. Let's get the cavalry in. The zombies have finally made it. But they're not even blocking my archers fully. So there's the Oceanids cooking them up. I might as well shut down the carronade while we're at it. And loot the Harkin is retreated. Tail tucked between his legs. Do I even need to sacrifice this cavalry? I might as well. They're just reavers, so if they kill off the carronade, I'm happy. We'll see what we can get done. I think the carronade, yeah, the carronade's dead now. Brutal. All right, nice. Yeah, carronade's down. Oh my goodness. This is devastating. This is just absolutely devastating, bro. Well, I guess I'll just, yeah, summon another one. These Oceanids don't give up. Oh, the carronades did live. A surprise, surprise. Let's kill them. That burning head should break their leadership, and then they'll crumble off of the artillery pieces, hopefully. This little pocket of undead is now swept up. Very nice. Yeah, there you go. That should get him now. If it doesn't, I'll just chuck another burning head. I am made out of magic. Silver Helm gonna have to sack its life though, because I overcommitted with them accidentally. My bad. They actually make it there without taking too much deeps though. Surprise, surprise. And here comes the big push. So the final push from my opponent is on its way. Animated Hulks are not that scary. They obviously take a lot of damage from archers. Is that a Buna? The guy has a Buna caster, dang. But yeah, animated Hulks are not too bad. You can bully them pretty well by just, yeah, shooting them with archers, charging them with cavalry. It's all real good. I can actually secure this point now if I really wanted to. Oceanids have finished the job. And those are just handgunner dudes. Yeah. This is very rough. I think I think this build, it definitely needs more mortars and fewer guns. Guns are super bad versus high elves, because they're just gonna supremely outrange you. They're gonna shoot them up. They're super expensive, so you don't really want to be losing them. It's just not a very pretty time. Here comes the deckhand resummon though. My opponent does know that bringing in the deckhands is very good. But this is actually just a massacre. It's just, they just can't get to my archer line, man. Can I kill Luther? If I debuff him, Plague of Rust, he has 20 armor. Maybe we can kill the guy. I know just even a couple units of cavalry and a surround can do a lot of damage, but the guy's animations are absolutely insane. But how else are we to break this man's spirit than by getting the Lord snipe? Yeah, look at him go. Luther's dodging, man. Plague of Rust kind of having a difficult time. I swear, Lord sniping in this game can be very difficult sometimes. Also, this build needs more dogs. It definitely needs more dogs, fewer hulks. Animated hulks are not the bestest. Luther does survive the focus fire, though. Some very good Terrorgeist animation saving him. Maybe I should have used my archers to kill the zombie tide instead. Is it really needed, though? This is very... this is very one-sided, unfortunately. We just have an absurd lead here. And my opponent does tap out. Well, GG! Alright. Well, that was, yeah. That was rough. That's why this matchup is good for high elves. You need a very specific build to win this. That's a double chevron mortar that died on the first burning head. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. You can't be having that. If you are watching, I would replace these with dogs. You need to get the dogs on the archers, and I would just take way more mortars. The handgunners obviously are not going to do well. You got to swap them out for mortars. The cannon, also not that useful. Swap it out for mortars. And then you might be able to kill all these dudes. Yo, last match against Scrambled Egg Special. Should be good. Luther Harkin was kind of fun, though. Luther Harkin was good at defending the mortars, which is pretty cool. Man, Burning Head, though. Clearing them up like no one's business. Also, Fellbats are not good. They only stop units for shooting. You're spending the entire cost of a unit to stop another unit from shooting for like a minute, 30 seconds-ish. I really don't like these kind of sacrificial units. Because it just doesn't make sense, right? The math doesn't math. If a sacrificial unit could get its value back, then wouldn't you just take infinite of them? I guess that's kind of how it works with Furies, but Furies are like the only exception. Edge of the Darkwood, final map of the day, Scrambled Egg Special. Let us do. Let us do. What will they bring today? It's like a campaign battle. The value efficiency is definitely there. This is nice. We've done a lot of different high elf stuff, minus the single entity spam. Quite new to the game, but am I right in thinking Unbreakable is really mid on infantry like units, because they just stay still and die longer. So in campaign, Unbreakable won't feel like a very good trait, because in campaign the only thing you care about is cost efficiency. You want your units to trade extremely well. So if you take a unit of Slayers and they kill another unit of infantry, then you're just down a unit of infantry, and the AI is obviously going to summon and re-recruit way faster than you. So you're just down trading, even though it's technically even. In multiplayer, a unit that will reliably trade evenly is amazing. Now, Unbreakable is still not the be-all end-all, but high leadership is really good because what a lot of people do at the higher level is they try to break the leadership of units. So for the same reason that trolls are bad, or the opposite reason, trolls are bad because they have low leadership and you can't squeeze out value out of them. In multiplayer at higher levels, even a unit with 70 leadership, you can rout them at half HP. I'll play versus Chaos Dwarves would kind of be fun. But I don't really have a way. Chaos Dwarves is a terrible matchup. On a map this big, though, you know, I'll face Chaos Dwarves just for the fun of the game. But yeah. Usually you need like 80 leadership in multiplayer before a unit will really fight to the last, no matter what people do to it. And, you know, the rare Unbreakable unit will do quite well. Now, there's also a separate thing. If you're thinking about Unbreakable units like playing as dwarves with Slayers, Slayers are not really an infantry v infantry fighting unit. In fact, most Unbreakable units are not actually supposed to be fighting infantry. And it doubly makes sense because infantry is the lowest DPS combat in the game. And the more damage a unit takes in a short time window, the more their leadership will be hit. But even a unit of peasants, you know, Bretonnian peasants, they will actually hold out surprisingly long in pure melee. So if you really want to make use of it, you need to put them in high shock damage situations. You know, obviously where they're gonna get work done, but yeah, you know, like tanking a cavalry charge, that kind of stuff. Now, Chaos Dwarves. This one should be interesting. How does one defeat the Chaos Dwarves? They will have an extraordinary amount of heavily armored units into the horizon. That much is guaranteed. But that does not mean that we are without some pretty sick plays. I think what I really want here, let's see here. So the trains are really annoying. We know that. Then what? I remember last time I played this, I think people said I needed like an Eltharion or something to actually kill trains. Because boy are they annoying. Just having like a really strong fighter can get a lot of work done. But it's not the only thing. It's not the only thing. They obviously have some very strong infantry. Water elemental unironically good here. Oh yeah, oceanids are pretty good. Oceanid's pretty solid. There's not a lot that can actually bully the unit. Yeah, we'll definitely sub in at least a couple of them. Okay. I'm kind of liking where this is going. This is not... It's a little sus. It's a little sus. Chaos Dwarves can absolutely be a menace. You can run out of armor piercing like crazy against them. I think I even should just do this. The trains are extremely annoying, but they are not unbeatable. They definitely have the weaknesses. You just have to kind of pry them apart a bit. This build ain't too bad. And I think I have pretty good sustain here. Sometimes I go the mass infantry rush, which I think this build wins against. Can I kill their ranged? Do I have a good solution for their ranged? Oh my goodness. Dude, this is so awkward, man. Let's see. Do I need this spell? Do I? Do I really need this one? Probably not. Probably not. Jeez, what a menace though. What a menace of a faction. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Khorne Wrathmongers are great in campaign and multiplayer. Exalted Bloodletters are good too. Yeah. There's a few units that have a solid overlap. But honestly, in campaign, it's usually just the mega range. Dude, the flickering is really bad. Is it distracting? Or am I just like noticing it a lot? So maybe, I don't know if it's like the lighting or what, or my background. But if it doesn't bother you guys, then I don't have to worry much. This is the build, by the way. It's a giant map. I think I can just win on tickets before the dwarves do much. It's not really a bother. You didn't notice until I mentioned it? Dang it. Shouldn't have mentioned it. All right, that's good. That's good. Ready, good luck, have fun. Let's do. Honestly, I do like how much more space I have. I don't cover up the map anymore, which is nice. Triple caster, yeah. So this is kind of a wild build. I have nets. I have shems for infantry, nets for trains, rust for armor, like could die, Eltharion to kill the big boys, Oceanids, and a lot more cavalry. So this is a Moby Max. Hey, Carter, thank you so much for the 5. Oh my gosh, no problem, man. It's been fun streaming again. Finally having a bit more time to really get back into it in full. I just wish we could get a few more tournament signups, but I've been posting videos again to the second channel. If you guys want to see like exclusively just like me giving random multiplayer tips again, the second channel, I would highly recommend it. It is called Anticity. Let me actually look it up. Anticity Guides. So it's called Anticity Guides. And here is the link. We've already put up a couple of videos. I'm trying to get it to 1,000 subs so I can monetize it. And what I plan to do is, now that I have a few people helping me edit, they're just going to help me compile videos, maybe supercuts of the streams, so that if you are a hardcore multiplayer fan and you want to know more about the game and specific details rather than the more narrative content I'm doing on the main channel, you can go there. You might be wondering why it's a second channel. That's because sponsorships, the best performing videos have to be posted to this channel. It's how it be sometimes. Subbed, thank you so much. Honestly, as soon as I can get that set up, then I can figure out how much I can pay my editors and such. Okay, that's a lot of blunderbusses, and we have some infernal castellans over here, so they can't really poke my guys too much, and I can get some free cycle charges on the infantry. That's a lot of shotguns. That is a lot of shotguns. Okay, so I gotta get my, oh, forgot to use my abilities, whoopsies. So I gotta set up for these Shem's Burning Gazes on these guys. It's the only way to make this work. I can just slow them down enough, we're good. It's gonna be a little bit of a charge, just a light hokey poke. I'm gonna check out the Shems. And hopefully it lands well. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Altharion's gonna have to back up though. So that's a good starter, Shems. So Chaos Dwarves can have a hard time on these giant maps actually getting in. They can struggle a little bit. Guns are posting up. They want to get some shots on me. Ouch. Focusing my caster now. Very smart. And if I get enough oceanids, we should be good. I can stall this point for quite some time, too. Let's get another Shems. Let's get another oceanid. Only quarter damage, but that ain't too bad. And this is all about the capture points and stalling. We really just want to stall them out forever. Just keep stalling. Chesting, we got some skirms. It's gonna be very hard to get onto this point, but I gotta make sure I don't lose too many units in this dance. If I lose too many units, I can't retake this point later, and that would be very bad. Whoop! Don't want to let the guns shoot you. Gotta be super careful about those. Gonna get another Shems off. Just trying to be as annoying as possible. It's gonna be another sick ability. Very nice. Hopefully this charge lands true. I will be able to catch some of the skirms. That's quite nice. But yeah, can we get in here? That's a real question. Well, I'm gonna lose one caster. That's a little unfortunate. Eltharian's gonna get in though. He will be able to save her. I just have to be careful I don't lose everything. And right now I'm kind of biffing it. That trade was pretty bad for me. And yeah, now we're gonna have to dip. That was pretty bad. That was a bad fight. I shouldn't have stuck around there. Eltharian's kind of in an awkward position too. He's gonna get a pretty nice barrage there, but that was a little biffed. Caster is routed off again. Brutal. But if I can kill off enough guns, maybe I can kill off these dudes with Eltharian. It's a non-zero chance. Oh crap, I didn't rally these guys properly. Is she gone? She might be gone. Eltharian's taking a lot of damage too. He's gotta be real careful. But at least the guns are mostly in an awkward position. She rallies, hell yeah. Okay, this ain't too bad actually. I got the oceanids over here. I just gotta get to the point where a double cap wins it for me. That's really the only thing that matters here at this point. So I can just stall them from getting this point and then hold the capture points for a long enough time. We're good. He chucks out a final transmutation. That is okay. As long as Eltharian lives, we're good. Very nice. We do still have a bunch of oceanids. Okay, nice. Very nice. Okay, so Eltharian's gonna live. Chaos Dwarf push is fairly slow. This strategy is only doable, by the way, because of the giant map. But that is by design. We're kind of just hoping that my opponent is just not ready for me to play so hard to the map. Oceanids will do really well here, by the way. And I think we do win on a 1 cap now. But I, like, really don't have any units. I have, like, effectively nothing. So that's going to be a little tricksy. Fairly decent charge over there, at least. Going pretty well. How many guns are here? Good amount of guns. Can I jump them with the oceanids, though? They are quite exposed. Yeah, and they're not pivoted to shut down my guys. So maybe I could actually get a fairly nice collapse in here on them. And then if I shut them down, well, that's just going to be very nasty. I just need to actually shut them down. But yeah, they're kind of the main staging point for my opponent. Ah, crap. Lost my caster. That's a bit of an oopsies. I will be able to jump the range, though. Oceanids are good for this. Very nice. Maybe a bit of an overextension on my opponent's part. Very, very nice. I should be able to take this point. Very good. Now we have a bit of a mosh pit, which I don't think they like very much. Especially with Eltharian coming in here. The Oceanids being so good at melee. I will have to make sure Eltharion doesn't die. And that's going to be a nasty, nasty, fat final transmutation. Is that an overcast? Oh, crap. That's not good. Eltharion's pretty Chadley, though. He's pretty Chadley. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, he gets a heal off. But my opponent gets the middle point. It's a little awkward. But Eltharion may come back. I should be able to recapture too. I did kind of lose the point. But the Oceanids are in the fight. They're doing well. We'll see how this goes. Oh, he rallies. 2 leadership. Okay, pretty high. I will have to deal with some Kadai though. Kadai are real nasty. But I will be able to get on the point at least. Eltharion shall be able to survive. To live another day and to heal cap himself. This boy doesn't need it. We gotta hold on to this last point for another like 5 minutes. This is good though. This is good. At least it is not a devastating situation. Especially if we can get the point back. But I am very rapidly running out of units. Now we are able to secure this position decently. And I should be able to recapture the point, which will put more time pressure on my opponent. Honestly, if I hadn't lost it, I think we would be in an amazing position. But this is still a fairly good position. Surprisingly enough, this is actually a decent position. As long as we don't lose the point, I will be okay. And I can draw the Kadai far and away from the capture point. Gotta remember, the guns are just miles away. The guns won't be able to do much, and that means that if I just keep grinding with Eltharion, well, I can actually start getting some value back. That's a pretty bad charge on my end, though. Let's see if we can sub out the cavalry. It's all about not losing the point, first and foremost. You can see he's brought in the Kadai and try and hold it. But I am made out of cavalry. I am cavalryman. That Lord is looking pretty beat up too. You'll love to see it. Okay, nice. Eltharion doing pretty well. He can heal himself up. Hopefully win this cav fight over here. And I just need to stall forever. Yeah, I think that's about it. I just need to stall forever. More cavalry. We're at like the 5-minute mark now, though. He will be able to get a pretty nice barrage over here, at least. Actually, quite an amazing barrage. There we go. That's gonna murder a bunch of dudes. But now I'm gonna have to hold on to this last one. So how much time do I have? Honestly, not a whole lot of time. And these Kadai are very fast. But Eltharion is still alive. Which is the most important thing. And can the Chaos Dwarves hold on to all the points at the same time? It'll be difficult. Eltharion's just a beast. He's just grinding the cavalry here. Just exactly what I need. And the dwarves are not very fast, so maybe I can resummon the metal caster too and maybe just surround the Kadai and get them killed. It's just a lot of mobility here, but not much else. Got Eltharion in here. Have to be real careful that he doesn't just murder himself. That Oceanid's holding out surprisingly well, though, I must say. But yeah, my opponent knows that he can just play it safe. Oh my gosh, dude, those Castellans are murdering Eltharion, though. He has to really dodge it up. It's a pretty good barrage, though. I can line of sight the Castellans and maybe get out of range. This is not bad. He gets a final transmutation, though. Upgraded again? Oh, that's not good. Okay, so Eltharion's dead. Eltharion's a goner. He served well for the cause. Okay, alright. That's okay. That's okay, I didn't need him. I just have to kill this one Kadai. Oh boy, that's a big fat route. It's a big fat route. I don't know how I feel about that. If I do hold for another like 2 minutes though, Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. I win on a 1 cap. I don't know why he's not beelining it to the point right now. I feel like that would make a lot of sense. Maybe I can kill this Kadai unit though. You gotta remember, I do have the Plague of Rust. And if I can kill one of them, that would be good. Okay, we've pulled them apart fairly well. We're gonna get a decent cav charge on them. Caster's doing her best. Okay, this is an okay charge. I have to hold for 100 seconds. That is a long amount of time. This is a very uncomfortably long amount of time. Plague of Rust did not do very much there either, mind you. Now, these are monstrous infantry. They don't have that much capture weight. 100 seconds is a lot, though. 100 seconds is a fat amount of time. Dude, if I didn't take this initial fight so aggressively, I think we would actually be okay. What I can do, though, is I can abandon the point. 80 seconds. 80 seconds. I think I have to go for it. I think I have to go for the other point. I don't think I can hold this for 80 seconds. I think he barely gets it. Oh, wait. Oh, he's falling for the bait. He thinks I want to go for this point because I summoned a unit, but I'm faster than him. His Kadai are too far. Did he misplay? I think he might have actually just super misplayed. Yes! Yes, he's still going. Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs special. Fell asleep at the wheel. Oh my gosh. Get bamboozled. Get absolutely bamboozled, son. Oh my gosh. He fell for it. You fell for the oldest trick in the book. Oh no. Oh, they ain't getting capture weight no more. I am the one with the capture weight now. Haha. I just need my caster to hold, but 9 seconds? Look at these dwarves. Look, they're trying to get here. Scrub lords, get knocked back, son. Yeah, you ain't coming here. This is my point. Ah, hell yeah. Dude, I thought I was dead. I thought I was so dead. Oh, that's hilarious. Chaos dwarves, sometimes they suffer the same fate as normal dwarves. Dude, he's super screwed up. He's super goofed. Oh my gosh. Well, that was good. All right, well, that was nice. Eltharion did not get a lot of value. The Shems caster did pretty good. The blunderbusses were super annoying. Late game Kadai were ultra annoying. But I had enough to kill off the skirmish cavalry, the normal cavalry. No bull centaurs, but bull centaurs are not the best unit ever. Man, that is like the biggest map in the game, though. That is like the biggest map in the entire game. Chaos Wars have been looking like a top tier faction. Not today. Hey Sotek, what's up? I was actually just about to end the stream. I'm so sorry. I can find a channel to raid though. Happy to have you guys here. We just won a crazy match. We just won a crazy match. I really had no right winning that. What a nail biter. Honestly, if they were just a little bit more aggressive with the points, I think Scrambled Eggs totally dropped the ball in terms of capture point aggressiveness. Maybe they thought I had a lot more money than I did, and that maybe I could have spammed Reavers to steal a point. Oh man, dude, the Castellans are so annoying. Their poking power is just like super good versus kite builds like this. Eltharion did tank a lot of Winds of Magic, yeah. There's not a lot of other places they would have dropped Final Transmutation, so. Oh man, and obviously this build doesn't work on like a lot of maps. Oceanids are amazing though. Those Oceanids cooked until the Kadai showed up. And being able to kill off all the blunderbusses when they were going for the middle point, chef's kiss. Find it interesting that adding chevrons to a unit in the pre-combat phase also increases their supply cost. It makes sense, otherwise you could really double down on the... Oh, yeah, the thing that doesn't make sense is that combat chevrons don't count. But that would be really... Chevrons are so bad. Chevrons are so bad, you wouldn't want to get combat chevrons, because the price is not worth the value gained. It's pretty rough. But yeah, that was nice. Does anyone, for the Twitch viewers, let's just do a full Twitch raid. Do you guys have... Oh, is Great Book of Grudges streaming? Oh, they are! Oh, perfect. I'll go ahead and raid the Great Book of Grudges. They're like an OG, man. Are they also streaming on the YouTubes? Let me see. Settings. How do I, How do I raid on YouTube anymore? Streamer settings, edit, customization, redirect, add. It's so complicated. Great Book. Are they streaming on YouTube? Of Grudges? I don't know if they're streaming on YouTube, so I'll just send a YouTube link. But to all the Twitch people, have a good raid. To all of you on YouTube, have a good rest of your day. Here's the link. And peace out. Yeah, from one raid to another. But a lot of Sotek viewers watch Great Book, so this is perfect. Anyways, I will see you later, and bye-bye.